Hello! So now I'm on the floor, so I'm going to show you a few different movements that we can do on different areas of the body. I've got my yoga mat down, or this works fine on a rug or the carpet, just probably not best on a hard floor. So the first one we're going to do is on the feet. So you've got your tool again with your tennis balls or whichever device you've chosen. And we're literally just going to stand on this to massage the foot. So it's just standing and rolling. Let's find a good spot so you can see. So make sure you feel stable. If you need to support your arms on anything, you've got one foot down and the other is just rolling over. You can really squidge those tennis balls into different areas on the sole of your foot. This is a fantastic one because you could watch TV whilst doing this. It's so easy. It's just a really nice treat for our often neglected feet. And you can apply either a light pressure or loads depending on how much you kind of lean onto it with your body weight. This is another one where you could easily spend half an hour doing this and it'd just be like a really good foot massage. As always, make sure you're doing some nice deep breaths to help release this tension, especially if it feels a bit sore. Breathe into that. Try and keep awareness of the rest of your body. Keep your shoulders low. Make sure they're not up in your ears. It's a very powerful one. It's just such a nice treat for poor feet that often get overlooked. Now, you can carry this on for hours at home, but we will move on in a moment so I can show you the next technique. Sometimes it's useful to click your toes as well because that can help to release a bit of tension as well. If you feel the need, you can even bend your foot over and sort of stretch out the front of the toes if that feels comfy. So it's not about speed, it's just about finding what feels useful. You can even just hold it and stay there or very subtly move. I think I could be doing this for an hour, but it might be a bit boring to watch. So let's do the next one, which is for the arm. So this area on the front of the forearm, this little sort of meaty bit here, this is tense on nearly everyone, especially if you're typing or just doing anything at all. So we're going to target this area. So for this you'll need to kneel down on the floor. You can do it on a table though. I find it's much easier because you can lean into it on the floor. So place the balls down here and you kind of placing your arm in the middle of them, like so. I support myself by leaning on this arm. I'm not sort of pressing in, I'm just leaning. You can do it there, but it does kind of work better here. So again, this nice, slow, deep movement. Oh, and you'll really feel that go all the way up to the elbow. It's always surprising how tight this is. Useful to click your hands sometimes after doing that. So even though I'm sort of crouched down and I'm doing this interesting thing, I've still got my shoulders quite low, because if you're just doing everything like that, then that's going to bring unnecessary tension to your shoulders. So still keep your shoulders low, keep relaxed, keep breathing. Excuse me. So I'll just do the other arm. Oh gosh, good golly. It's always very powerful, this one. And if it feels like that, it means that this is what you need to do, because it's really useful. Again, I could be doing this for half an hour, but I don't think it'd be a very interesting video. So let's move on. So the final one I'm going to demonstrate is more work on the back, but we're doing this lay down. So you might not be able to see everything that's happening. I'll try moving the camera to a different angle as well, but I trust that you are familiar with what we've been doing so far, because it's similar to what we did on the wall, except we're doing it lay down. So we'll start with one ball on either side of the spine. So you're just going to place it down on your mat or your rug, and we're going to roll over it. I'll do it over there as well so you can see the different angle. So this one, you can raise your hip slightly, raise your head. I support my head and I kind of lift it, and I always get a click or two in my upper back. So that's quite a useful thing in itself, especially when I tilt the head forward. And that's just a release of pressure from around the joints. It's not bones or anything, it's just air. So here I'm just rolling on either side of the spine, and this targets those shoulder areas. Just be careful if you're doing this on the lower back, because your body weight can apply a lot of pressure and you've not got ribs there, just organs. So you can do it, just be a bit mindful and just do it quite lightly. Whereas in the upper back, the muscles are really thick and you've got a lot of support there with your ribs around them, so you can apply as much pressure as feels comfortable. So that's one option with it on either side of the spine. The other option is just kind of holding it like almost vertically, so that it's just on like one little patch like this. So I'll show you this, and it'll look just the same because from that angle. But this can be a really nice way to get into one shoulder. If you feel that you've reached like a little bit where it feels quite useful and maybe like a little knotty area, you can even move your arm around, and that can help the ball to access different parts of the shoulder. So I've got my knees up and my head's just resting on my arm. Try it with a cushion if you prefer. So just move so that you find a useful area. I'm going to try and demo this from a different angle so that you can see what I'm doing from the side. let's have a go at this. There we go. So, balls back, lying on them. I'm going to put them vertically to just work on one shoulder, and like before I'm moving my arm around. This just helps to get into different areas. It's very effective. So going forward, if you're doing this kind of thing either against the wall or the floor, and you're combining it with shoulder exercises that you might find on YouTube, for example, and a lot of them you can do without any equipment at all, combining those with movement of this area, you're going to really help prevent shoulder and neck and back tightness and pain. So you notice I'm just staying still. I found a useful bit on my shoulder and I'm just staying still. And this is a lot of what deep tissue massage is. You just kind of find a point on someone that feels quite tense. The muscles feel sort of tough, and you apply pressure and you stay there and the person breathes through it. That just helps to relieve that knot. Again, could stay like this for an hour. It would be a very long video. But I hope that in your practice at home when you're doing this, that you get to find what feels good for you, and that you can treat yourself whenever you're watching telly or you're just having a bit of quiet time, and you can help to relieve some pressure, some tension, and it's just quite relaxing as well. And you could even be watching a film at the same time. Well, maybe not staring at the screen, but you get what I mean. You could listen to music or have something on in the background. That way you don't take away from your TV watching time, which is what I do. I multitask. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and feel free to get in touch if you want to ask anything. And goodbye from me, goodbye from the tennis balls. Thank you, bye.